Okay.
Well, we can just cut it later, but it's like the documentary is basically just going to be about the cultural differences and how to give an international keynote.
Right.
So like what the differences between giving a speech in the United States and giving a speech in Asia.
Right, because you might have to change the way the jokes work so that the people in the audience will be able to understand it.
Exactly.
It will like land correctly.
Right. I mean, I think that's the most difficult part is that you can learn English and you can be competent at it, but humor is probably the last thing people understand when you're learning a language.
Mm-hmm.
So especially because there's like these cultural things, like in my final speech, all of my jokes were American.
Right.
You know, and like if it was just a room full of like people from Taiwan
who learn the English, they're
Exactly.
not going to get like the Asian and blonde walking to the
Right.
gas station.
Yes.
Or like, you know, because I guess in Asia, most of the time you live with your parents probably well into even after getting married.
Exactly. So my joke where I say like, "Woo, freedom," said my parents. It's hilarious because like in the States,
Right.
like when you're 18, you get kicked out. Like you live on your own,
Like-
and then
Like we buy you a card, here's your
Exactly.
present, bye.
yeah, exactly.
I'm done,
So
know.
you go and live on your own, but I think in Asia, like you live with your parents before you get married.
Right.
Until you get married, so like it just doesn't. It sounds kind of mean, you know.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So it doesn't carry through.
Yeah, and the Asian and the blonde joke, it like if you don't notice, like I don't even finish the joke.
Right, you don't.
Yeah, it's a blonde joke, and it's two people walked into a bar type of deal. You know, like there's a bunch of like walking into a bar jokes in the United States. So there's like a series of jokes, like blonde jokes, and there's like a series of walk into a bar joke. And I combined those two, and Americans got that immediately because culturally we tell those jokes all the time.
And so it's easily understood.
Exactly, but I didn't even take that into consideration when I was writing my final speech. But that dawned on me when I started to give speeches internationally, and my jokes wouldn't land because culturally it just didn't make any sense.
So you would probably have to like, in other words, you kind of have to do like the cross-cultural thing.
Exactly.
When you understand the other culture.
Right.
In order to carry forward the joke.
Right, and it's so hard to even learn that unless you go and experience the culture. Because like even if you're trying to like Google search like the cultural differences, you can't really figure out like the nuances of like what is funny to the culture.
I think you have to
You know?
experience it like firsthand.
I know, like I almost like you need to give a speech like a practice run in like a Toastmasters club or like go to like a bunch of clubs before you give an international keynote or location. Because oh man, the Middle East was tough. Like they were a fantastic audience and they're amazing, but
They didn't get it.
they didn't get any of my jokes, and I was like, I promise I'm hilarious.
it's
You know,
not-
it
it's
was
not
funny.
carrying.
Yeah, nothing was carrying.
Probably
so.
thought it was they were very serious and focused on your speech.
I know they were yeah, but it was cool. Like, and it was a good learning experience, and I think that I had to go through that to kind of understand how to like put things together.
It's like a valuable experience, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that's good. Like you traveling around to like these different countries and places, you kind of get a taste of what the culture
Yes.
is like. And I think all of that becomes very valuable resources when you are crafting and making your speeches into to tailor it to the local audience.
That's true. That's hard, and I think even in international business, that's really valuable.
Right.
If you're doing business overseas, you need to know these cultural differences and nuances and what's valuable to each culture.
Yeah.
Like even like this is like a culture shock being in a subway this clean. This is amazing. Like this, you will not see this in the United States.
Right.
This is gross in the States. Like this is such like nice
And just-
public transportation.
Right. And actually, you cannot drink on the subway. You cannot chew gum on the subway. Like you can get fined for that. Like there is no drinking once you cross the ticketing toll gate. You cannot drink inside of the
Wow.
station, the subway station. That's against the rules.
Well, that would make sense. I mean, yeah, it's like in the
I mean,
States, any major city, it smells like pee in the subway. You know,
And then, like you probably find like chewed gum like stuck
yeah.
under the chair.
everywhere. It's just like so nice, and it feels so nice walking in here. I like could not believe how like pristine everything is.
And it looks so nice and clean. And
I know.
you know, and I think if they tailored it to the 9 to 6, everyone's done, you go home, and that's that. You know, you're pretty much in front of the television set or doing something on your own inside your house.
Yeah.
Not much of a interaction outside of the house, unless you go like clubbing or something. I think that's
true.
what nightlife is, or bars. I think
Yes.
that's what most people have of the idea of like the American nightlife.
That's true. That's true. We are very homebodies, and like it is very difficult to get to places. Nothing. I think everything's a lot more condensed in Asia, so everything's so easily reachable.
Right.
Like in the States, like you. Well, I shouldn't speak for the entire. Like New York's not like that, but California definitely you cannot get around without a car.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's totally different, and I think it's really cool.
it's
to have
way
both.
different because I lived in California for 20-something years.
Oh my
And
gosh.
moving back 6 years ago, it wasn't as big of a cultural shock to me, I guess, because I do speak the language and I did grow up knowing this stuff technically. But to experience it firsthand, it still was something to get used to.
Right.
To be like, okay, I don't need my driver's license anymore. I don't need to drive. I can get around everything using the local public transportation, the buses, the subway, you know, the trains, the high-speed rail. It was all very convenient, and everything was very well connected, which is great. And I think it helps. I think because things are so close together,
Sure.
that I can literally go somewhere to get something done on my own 2 feet.
Right.
I don't need to rely much on even sometimes public transportation. I can just, you know, there's a bank next to my house.
Right.
So it's everything is very. I think it's more tailored into the, I guess, the community and the neighborhood where people convenience.
Yes.
So I think and then because of that, on the contrary, driving becomes inconvenient in Taipei. Actually, you have a hard time finding a parking spot.
Well, I'm sure.
So
They're trying to discourage people to drive.
either that, or you know, it is sometimes very hard to move around because
Sure.
of just what goes on. You know, the bodies that you have everywhere. You know,
Yes.
people moving around, and sometimes, you know, just doing even a U-turn, I guess, or because of you'll probably see this tomorrow when we take you on the sightseeing tour. But because of just the culture where, for the convenience of the people, taxis will line up in front of train stations or MRT stations to give you a ride.
Right.
And that obviously ends up impeding traffic to a certain
Right.
degree. Or people just very regularly walking onto the street and waving to wave down the taxi.
Okay.
Or to cross the street jaywalking without following the pedestrian walkway.
Okay.
And that's just become a very customary thing.
Really?
And-
I guess New York is a little bit like that, but not to that degree, I'm sure.
I remember when I first came back, I was like, okay, pedestrians have the right of way. Cars let you cross. But that wasn't the case. I was halfway through the pedestrian walkway, and this car turned inches away from my foot,
Oh my gosh.
and I guess he assumed, or she, whoever the driver was, assumed that I would know better and stop and let the car turn.
That's
And
really bizarre.
right, and so the traffic signals to them, whether it does not matter if it's green, yellow, or red, they take it into consideration, I guess, but they don't.
It's a suggestion.
Right, it's a suggestion, right? It's a suggestion. It's not something like
amazing.
the letter of the like. But
Okay.
like, I mean, those are only certain aspects. It's not. Some people do follow the rules very well.
Sure.
But it's just you have to be very careful when you're like walking around. It's I guess it's because Taipei is just so busy. The
Yes,
pace is
I'm
so
sure.
fast.
Yes, I
You know,
can
when you go to
see that.
Taichung, it's going to be a slower paced city, and you can see the difference. It's like Taichung, you will see, does not have an MRT system. It does not have a subway system. They go around by buses, taxis, and trains, basically.
Oh,
So
okay.
it is a big city in the central area, but it does not have a subway system. But they are in the process, I believe, of voting, or if not already voted, to build a subway system.
Interesting.
So Taipei is the most massive and I would say complex subway system out of all the subway systems in Taiwan. Kaohsiung has one too, but it's a lot more simplified. I think they only have like 2 or 3 lines
I see.
compared to Taipei where there's multiple lines.
Okay.
So,
I didn't realize that you lived in California for so long.
oh yeah, I was born in America. So
Oh, okay.
to me, I experienced the culture shock, I guess, but not so big when I first came back.
Okay.
I just was like, wow, it's so convenient and get everywhere on this subway station. I mean, that was great to realize how convenient it was. And then it was quite horrific to realize how complicated it was. Yeah. Oh, okay, I can transfer here, but I can't transfer here, and you know, am I supposed to go out and then come back in? You know, it was a bit. I think it helps that I know the language.
Yeah. So what are the like some of the languages? I mean, what are some of the words like? You know how there's some certain words that cannot be translated. Like, are there some words in that can't be translated into English?
Some words that can't be translated to English. I think like it comes with. I think most can. I guess. I think it's the Taiwanese because they have a dialect that most people speak.
Okay.
And they would use Taiwanese.
Okay.
Or there's Hakka here on top of Mandarin. So they have Taiwanese, Mandarin, Hakka, and then there are also we also have a large group of people that come here to work. So like
From where?
Indonesians,
Okay.
or Vietnamese.
So there's a big population.
Right, there's quite a big population.
Really?
Right? Because we're an aging population, like I guess I think more or less in Japan or so as well. And so the elderly, they will have people, you know, because everyone works basically, or maybe sometimes elderly parents do not live with their children. And I mean they live close by, but maybe not in the same house or vicinity. So sometimes it is hard to take care of their parents, and they will hire somebody to do so, and these are usually come from Vietnam or Indonesia.
Okay.
So we have a large population there, I guess working population that have expats here, and they help take care of elderly.
Okay.
And sometimes they also take care of them in the hospital, and they go out and do the groceries for them, and you know,
They're
like
like
right hospital, like they are very nice, and that's the thing. Like they will be allowed into the hospital to take care of the elderly, even when you know when the elderly needs to go to check up and everything. But I don't know in America, I think they have a strict rule on who is able to take care of them inside the hospital, right?
I think if the family approves it, it's okay. We have something similar to that, but not exactly like that.
Right.
Or like you use like a certain demographic to do that, you know? Yeah. But yeah, lots of different things. Like it's so interesting. Like so, like I grew up in Korea, and in Korea, like there's certain words that can't be translated in English. There's this word called nichi, and it means your ability to read a situation. And it doesn't quite translate in English because in Korea, that's really important to have nunchi, to be able to read the room and read the situation.
Right.
In the States, everything is verbal, so it's very explicit. Everything you say is taken as face value, as opposed to Korean, like you kind of have to read the context around the words. Like sometimes what you say isn't what you actually mean, and you have to like understand exactly. You have to decipher like your facial expression and the gestures and the feeling, and your ability to do that is really, really important in Korea because it's a very high context society. So I don't know if that's true all across the board or if it's just the Korean culture.
I think there are probably some words you can't translate into English just because of the cultural difference, but I can't think of it off the top of my head right now.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there are.
Yeah, like I'm always curious because, like, you know, like the words that exist in the society, the each culture, it says so much about that culture. Like I can't think of the word right now, but in German there's a word that kind of means finding happiness in another person's pain. And there's no word for that, but it kind of says something about that culture, you know? What is that called? It's like it's a really long, strange word, but like I'm always interested in like seeing all the different words that can't be translated because it says a lot about that culture. Like I know there's like an African country where there's 100 different words for the word cow because cows are used as currency over there. So it's very important. For us, it's just cow and camel. But over there, there's hundreds of different words. Just like we have hundreds of different words for the word money. Money, cash, lettuce, you know, there's like so many ways to say money because it's so important to us. But because over there, cows are money. Right. So they have a lot of words. So I think it's really cool. Like, I want to learn some words here that teach you about the culture.
Probably because I didn't grow up in Taiwan.
Yeah,
but I
I'm
think
sure.
a lot of people tomorrow will be able to teach you that.
Okay.
Because we have about 8 people, including myself and Sarah.
Okay.
And we will go with you too. But I think culturally speaking, like, you might see this later tonight, if not later tomorrow, during like around the afternoon, where there are cultural differences that are very apparent. That to me, when I first came to Taiwan, I was like, what's going on? Like, obviously in America, we would wake up, put our trash can outside,
Right.
and we would go to work, and we would expect, the garbage truck will come through and
Sure.
do its thing, and then when we come back, we'll have really clean garbage, cans that we'll just move back into our house, in the garage.
Right.
But that's not how it works here in Taiwan. You chase after garbage trucks.
You chase after the garbage truck.
Literally. Like, if you don't
You
get...
have to like throw it in there while it's
Yes.
driving. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm serious. You can ask Sarah, right, Sarah?
Yes.
That is how it does. I'm serious. Like, basically what happens is, at a certain time, you will just memorize the schedule eventually, and you'll hear, they'll put on a melody, like, as the garbage truck's
Oh my god, it's like an ice cream truck,
Right,
but
right.
for the garbage. That's amazing.
They will have like a Fur Elise or something. I forgot what the other music is, but it will be playing, and you will know, okay, it's time to go to the garbage. And you'll see people just stand, at their like garbage collection point, I guess. And the garbage truck will drive through, and the garbage truck won't drive very quickly. It will be driving, it will stop, but only for a certain time period. And then you will have to throw the garbage in there. Otherwise, you'll have to wait for the next day or the next time it shows up, which is usually the next day.
Oh wow.
So yeah, and they have, like, I guess, to be environmentally friendly as well, they do emphasize on the recyclables. Like, you would have to throw, I guess, fruit peels and stuff, or leftovers if they've gone sour or whatever, into a certain like bag, I guess, but not certain bag, but it's separated from everything else, and that goes to the fertilizers and for the pigs.
Wow.
And then you have like plastics and paper, and then the napkins and tissues are a completely different thing. So we divide it very clearly, I guess. But and then that's also like taken, and the garbage truck and the recycle truck are different.
Yeah.
That's another
So
thing.
responsible.
Right, and then the tissue or whatever is thrown into this pink bag, and you have to put it in the pink bag before you can throw it away into the garbage truck. Like, it's required by the municipal cities.
But do the cities provide these bags?
They provide it, but you have to go buy it from the convenience stores.
Okay.
So they are provided. It's pink in color, and you do need to go ahead and buy it. Like, they're not provided for free or anything.
But what if you don't do it? Like, what if you just... How are they gonna know?
They wouldn't know, but I think because I guess the community is very tight knit, so
That's really
you would
cool.
probably be frowned upon, or somebody's gonna tell you, hey, you didn't do it right.
So it's like saving face.
Right.
So that's a big thing in Asia too.
Right. It's saving face, and people are like, okay, I should follow what everyone's doing. It's the
Yeah.
norm. If I don't do it,
Respectful.
I might get found out, and it's
Yeah.
not gonna be good, and
Sure.
stuff like that.
Yeah, so like community is what keeps you in check and keeps the law. That's really interesting because like in the States you would be fined. I mean, if they were to try to
They would
impose
enforce it by the
anything,
rule of law.
Exactly. They would have to
Versus
they would have to
by,
fine
I
it.
guess, peer pressure.
Exactly,
Right.
yes.
It's a different sort of a system, I guess.
Totally. And I think that's why in some ways Japan, they don't have any crime over there either. Like it's like crime is virtually non-existent over there because, people are just, there's a lot of peer pressure to be good and respectful and respect each other and
Right.
the country and the community. And it's very different type of like regulation.
Yeah, I think it comes with every culture where it has its own thing. And so recently, I guess with some alarming situations in Japan, where the stabbing and the driving of the truck into like Akihabara and all that, it comes as a shock to Japan put into this mold
Yeah, so there's a lot of peer pressure.
and parental pressure
Yeah.
from parents expecting something.
Okay, like expectations. That's so funny. I actually talk about that in my keynote.
Oh, great.
So that might not work out here. Because you guys are like, what? Everybody does this.
I think Taiwan also got a lot of Western culture.
Yeah.